Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Journee Continues Podcast. I am your host, Tamesha Little. Journee Continues Podcast is a community-based platform dedicated to recovery, behavioral health, advocacy, civic engagement, and uplifting voices that inspire hope and positive change. Today, conversations may include discussions about substance use, incarceration, trauma, and recovery. We recognize that these topics can be difficult for some listeners. You or someone you know is struggling. We encourage you to seek support from a trusted professional, recovery organization, or crisis resource. Today, I am honored to welcome Lowantha Calloway. Lowantha is a woman in long-term recovery whose life demonstrates the power of resilience, hope, and second chances. After experiencing incarceration and overcoming substance use, she has rebuilt her life and now serves as an inspiration to others seeking recovery and healing. Lowantha, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
For those who may not know you, would you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are?
Well, my name is Lowantha Calloway, and then I have been advocating, recovery since I've been in recovery, which is about 15 years now, I do believe. Yeah, 16. 16 years I've been in recovery. And it's been a long journey, but it's worth it. And I just hope that I can help somebody else that's on this journey with me.
Thank you. Everyone's recovery journey is unique. Understanding where someone started often helps us appreciate how far they have come. So I want to dive into before your incarceration. What challenges were you experiencing in life?
Well, back in the day, it was all about the lifestyle. You didn't have to have no challenges, but you just wanted that almighty dollar. And then once you get hooked up like that, you become you start getting high off your own supply. And that's what happened to me. That's how I got involved so deeply in drugs.
Okay.
But as you can see, that didn't keep me there. I fought and I made it out of there. But that's basically what got me started, trying to live that lifestyle.
Looking back today, how did substance use impact different areas of your life, such as your relationships, your health, employment, or just your sense of self?
Well, praise God, but God. That's how I got through. Because all the other things that could have happened didn't happen. I'm in good health. I'm in such good health, and that's why I think God got me in good health, so I could take care of other people. And my relationships, I have been able to mend those bridges that I thought were burned. They weren't all burnt up because of God. And that's why I'm here today, because of God.
Thank you for sharing that. Can you share what your experience was like during incarceration? And were there any lessons or realizations that stayed with you?
Yes. To be honest, out there in them streets doing what you're doing, God is the last thing on your mind. But when I went to prison, you got all that time to sit and think. And when you start thinking over your life and all the things you have been through, you thank God that you made it through, and you know that He's with you. And That's the main thing. You got to hold on to him, and he'll bring you through. Because I never ever thought I would have ended up in prison. You know, I'm too smart to end up in prison. You know, but that was not the case. And even though I did go, I did meet some good people there that helped me on my journey because they helped me get in a program called RDAP, Residential Drug Abuse Program. I think they still have it going on today in the prisons. And most people take it because if you take the drug program, you get out a year early. And that's why most people take it. That's why I took it too, to be honest. But you learn. And the stuff that they teach you in there, they give you tools that when you get out, that you can use, coping skills. They give you all of that. Then when you know, the stuff you learn in there, you bring it home. That way you can show somebody else, you know, reach one, teach one.
Was there a specific moment or turning point that motivated you to pursue recovery?
Well, I thought I started to pursue recovery before I even went to prison because I didn't want to go into the prison with withdrawal symptoms, you know. So I went to rehab before I went to prison. So in rehab, I had a long time to think too, because I wasn't there for 30 days. But 30 days is long enough to get your mind right. And while I was there, you know, in rehab, and I was thinking about the time I was gonna have to go and do, I had to uh, come up with a plan to make it through. And that was my plan.
How long was you how long were you incarcerated?
I did 5 years.
And during those 5 years, how did your perspective change about your life?
Well, while I was there, I realized that I had left a lot of people on the outside that were hurting, and it was because of me, you know. So I wanted to, you know what I'm saying, make everybody else feel at ease and more comfortable, and you know, so that they wouldn't be worried about me. Because you know, my family, my mom, my son, you know, I put them through a lot, you know, because you know, half the time, uh, my son was in on everything with me, but my mama didn't know nothing. But you know, so that's really what got me to thinking, you know, how because I believed that I could have took my son in a different direction, you know, because he went down the same road I did. Only thing different, he didn't get hooked on drugs. Thank God for that.
Okay. What were some of the biggest challenges you faced when you returned to the community? Reentry.
Well, see, I've been blessed. So I didn't really have that many challenges when I came home. When I came home, everybody in the neighborhood knew me. I've been over there all my life. So they already knew that that lifestyle for me was over. And anybody who didn't know, they let them know. So I didn't really have to say nothing. Just come home and live. And jobs, I thought I was going to have a hard time finding a job. But God, I had some jobs I ain't like, but I still had some jobs. You know what I mean? So I was just had to work my way up. You know what I mean? I went back to school. You know, went to did a little community college. You know, took some more classes. And while I was there, I ran into somebody that was doing some peer recovery coaching. And I had never heard of peer recovery coaching. So I looked into it. And then I found out about the peer support and recovery coaching. And I thought that might be something And once I did get to training for that, found out I like to do it because I can help somebody from going and doing what I did.
Wow. Were there any organizations, mentors, peer recovery coaches, faith communities,
Yes.
or family members who played an important role?
Oh, yes. Like I said, my family, we close. My brother, my sister, my son, my mama. My dad is no longer here, but yeah, we are a real close family. And, like I said, when I came home, they supported me and everything. And, they helped me look for these type of jobs that would help me stay in recovery. And I was in this program at the Lighthouse
Mm-hmm.
when I came home. And from the Lighthouse, I went to Detroit Recovery Project. And from Detroit Recovery Project, I went to Central City Health. And I'm trying to think where else I've been. But I've been around, to a few little agencies. And not only was I a client, but I end up being an employee. Yeah, all that training I did because I needed, I needed the training so I could help somebody. And helping other people also helps me,
Really understand. Today, what coping strategy or daily practices help you maintain your recovery?
My spirituality. I take everything to God now because I know I can't do this by myself.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
Recovery, they say doesn't end when someone leaves treatment or returns home. Rebuilding life often comes with its own challenges. And
yeah,
and
you
from
know
what
what
I've
they say? People, places, and things. Certain places you can't go no more. Certain things you can't do, and certain people you can't be around.
And many individuals returning from incarceration face barriers such as housing, employment, transportation, or stigma. What were some of the barriers you encountered?
Like I said, I was blessed. I stayed with my mother till I was off of probation. And I got off probation, I moved 2 doors from her. Because I know everybody over there. So I was able to rent a place 2 doors from my mama and got a job. And like I said, I have just been blessed. And I'm not saying that I'm the only one that's blessed, because other people can be blessed too.
Okay.
God got us all.
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about healing today, what does healing look like in your life?
Okay, healing for me is, I guess I don't have to look back. Back in the day when I was out there in them streets, I always had to watch my back. Now I don't. Now I can look forward. And looking forward, I can see where I'm going, and maybe I can take some more people with me where I'm going.
Right. One of the goals of this podcast is to offer hope to those who may be listening and wondering whether recovery is possible. What would you say to someone who is currently incarcerated and struggling with substance use or feeling like there is no way forward?
Well, it depends on the person because, like I said, I take everything to God first. Everybody ain't me. So it's different ways and different avenues to reach other people. So it depends on that person because some people, all they know is what they see, you know. And if they don't see it, they don't believe they can do it. But if you see somebody that's in recovery and you know where they came from, I believe that's enough proof right there that all you got to do is keep trying, keep moving. One day at a time, one step at a time.
Yes, ma'am.
Just got to keep moving.
Keep pushing. What message?
Sorry about that.
What message would you share with families who are supporting a loved one returning from incarceration?
Well, all I can say is I know sometimes it's hard to support your people, but that's one thing we as a people need to work on because we need to stick together. I mean, I know I didn't had some, I didn't been challenging to my family, so I know it can, be very, very challenging, but it can be done through love, and sometimes tough love is the best love. You gotta let them know you're not playing with them. You can't be enabling them. A lot of times we support people and we don't realize we're enabling them. So you have to, there's a fine line between enabling and supporting. And sometimes we have to find that line.
What gives you hope today?
Well, in this economy, I wake up every day trying to be positive because being negative ain't going to do nothing for you no way. So I just try to wake up and have a positive thought, do some positive affirmations, and thank God that He gave me one more day that I could change something or help somebody.
Before we conclude, I like to ask one final question, and it's about this poem you written. Would you like to share that with us?
Sure. Okay, the name of my poem is Goodbye Dope, Hello Hope. I say goodbye to my addiction once and for all. Goodbye to the things that made me feel so small. Goodbye crack, blow, alcohol, and weed. No longer are you the things that I need. I thought Mary Jane would always be my friend. She was there in the beginning and still in the end. But so much more has come along the way. Speed and pills also had their day. But now I'm tired of telling lie after lie. Tired of hiding while trying to get high. Tired of not knowing the things that I've done. It's so embarrassing to my parents and my son. My so-called friends don't want to change. And because I do, they all think I'm strange. Most of my friends are liars, thieves, and killers. But I keep them around because they're drug dealers. But it's all over now. I found something pure, good, and true. Not only can it help me, but can help others too. His name is Jesus, and his love has no end. Not only is he my savior, but also my friend. He brings love, joy, peace, and hope. Maybe trials and tribulations, but no more dope. He gives me the strength I need to stand against all the things of man. And I'll never let go of his changing hand. So today, I say goodbye to my past of nothing but dope. And hello to my future of nothing but hope.
Thank you so much for sharing that poem. When did you write that poem?
I wrote this when I was incarcerated and I was in the drug program, the RDAP.
What inspired you to write the poem?
Well, since we're being so honest, I had a cellmate and we used to compete on who was writing the best poems. And she used to write them and I would write them. And so we entered a poetry contest. And believe it or not, both of us won.
Wow.
Yeah, both of us won.
Wow. That poem. Just knowing that you sat down and you just took the time to just gather your thoughts and talk to something that and talk to something that caused you pain, and that's addiction, just to express where you were at and where you're going and where you're going to remain is just awesome. So thank you for sharing that, Paul. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Lowantha, thank you for being willing to share your story so openly. Your honesty, strength, and resilience are a reminder that our past does not define our future. Recovery is possible. Healing is possible. And every person deserves an opportunity to rebuild their lives. To everyone listening, thank you for joining us for another episode of the Journey Continues Podcast. If today's conversation encouraged you, please share this episode with someone who may need hope today. Be sure to subscribe, follow us on social media, and stay connected as we continue sharing stories that educate, inspire, and strengthen our communities. Until next time, remember that every journey begins with a single step, and journey continues. Thank you for listening.